Welcome back, guys. What a crazy opening weekend that was. Battle at the Berrics 13 has begun, and the first match was an absolute brawl. Chris and Mark exchanging blows for 10 minutes. It was quite the spectacle. But I'm not going to sugarcoat the experience. Mark let me down. If you bet on who was going to win the coin toss, which I recommend you do for 5K, and Mark was your guy, it would have been an absolute showstopper right away. But that's not what happened. He won the coin toss and then proceeded to choke on a heel flip. It goes to show it doesn't matter how good you are in the streets. Battle at the Barracks has its way of pulling the nerves out of you. Mark's game was questionable. Maybe he had an off day. He's more used to skating the rougher terrain of the East Coast. I can come up with all sorts of excuses for the dude, but at the end of the day, he choked on some basic tricks. You give him enough time, enough attempts, Mark will deliver some really good clips. But this performance has me questioning how many SD cards his filmers have to pack before going out to film. Cole deserves an apology. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I was being a little ageist. After all, what do they say? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But clearly that idiom has failed. So what does that say about all the other bullshit I was taught growing up? The disinformation propaganda might be running deeper than I thought, affecting the way I think, the way I act, the way I live. Maybe I was born into a bubble of widespread psychological thinking that was rigged from the start so that it keeps us all down. How many other people were taught to think like this? I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty pissed. But don't worry, I know it sounds sketchy when your strategist is trying to resort to metaphysical reasoning to explain away why the fuck Mark Suciu lost. But don't worry, guys. Remember, it was only 15K. This was a strategic bet. I know for a fact Cole had it in him. There's an interview somewhere he gave where he was seriously telling the camera with a smile on his face how he kind of wished his family was fucking dead or something so he could skate more. That always stuck with me. Cole is a beast. The way he skates is absurdly calculated. The odds were in his favor. But Mark, on the other hand, is calculated in a much different way, and I probably should have seen that coming. Another factor being that Cole might not be jumping down that many stairs these days. It leaves plenty of room for flat ground practice, and I believe that Cole having tighter trucks was also a contributing factor to his consistency. I bet a little low for this one because I really wasn't sure. The game still ended up being kind of close. Cole showing a little bit of cracks in his armor with the missed hard flip, but having bet low for this game, I'm going to increase my bet for the next game. I now have an idea how Cole is approaching the game this year, and I can easily see him making it to round 3. And so I'm going to start shifting my bets that way while letting the next couple of wins ride until at least round 3. Lopez versus Suciu would have been a much more interesting starting match, by the way. I mean, you can't blame me for wanting to pick Suciu over Cole, is what I'm trying to say. And I also have to say, I hate to say this, we have lost a community member. Sins, he went all in on Mark, and I can't blame him. It was a good bet. But as we know, Mark lost, and so he lost everything, his family's inheritance, dating back multiple generations, all gone. He was found dead of electrocution in his bathtub, jumped into the full tub with a computer in hand. Only the good die young. But that's why we have to fucking play dirty, right? And so it doesn't get much dirtier than this. Costin versus Ribeiro. Ribeiro performed excellent. He had great pop, caught his tricks with ease. No further analysis needed with that other than to say he is a bit of a normie with his trick selection and ripe for the picking for a guy like Costin. When you pick Costin, you're picking the Joker card out of the deck. You can't trust this guy. We know that Steve Barra did convince Costin to take a few introductory Scientology courses. Knowing this, and knowing the sheer amount of power and persuasion that can come with such knowledge, has led me to believe that the goofy goober stick is all an act. Costin knows what he's doing, and he knows how to play dirty. That's something you have to keep in mind. He's going to lull you into a false sense of security and take you out. But as we saw with this match, something incredible happened. Costin snapped his tail on a switch front big spin, an extremely rare occurrence for Battle at the Barracks. He was forced to pick up a new board that he wasn't used to. He had to adjust the trucks. There's a lot of ethical concerns regarding this. I think Ribeiro should have been forced to skate a different board as well to even things out. And look at this board he's skating. I can't believe Costin is on skate mental. That says it all. He's even skating a graphic that looks like a Krell Tap throwaway design. So much bad mojo in this match alone. It's incredible Costin even got a chance to fight back. But what trick did he try to set with when he did? A pressure flip. He would have made mincemeat of Ribeiro with the bag of tricks he had in his arsenal there. But the moment that tail snapped, the game was over. Either way, it's a fool's errand to speculate on what could have been, but I do think in an alternate universe, Costin would have chained together a series of pressure flips, and that would have been the win for Costin in that scenario. Fine game to both gentlemen. Ribeiro advances and will now face Cole. So having bet on Costin, the good luck perk is now in play. So what this means is that for every match after this, the odds are now increased in favor of the system. Chris Cole is going to win. Easy. I would take double or nothing odds for this match here. We have to get our money back. Strategically, we are betting well, and the odds are diversified enough to where we can afford to lose a little bit in the beginning. And when we do get matches like Ribeiro versus Cole, it would be such a knockout grand slam that we would be able to spin a profit from this bracket alone. Cole is going to make short work of Ribeiro. He doesn't know what's coming to him. It's going to be a bloodbath. So next week, if they do these in order, we're going to see Louis Lopez versus Curran Caples. I'm still very much Team Louis for that one, but remember, money isn't the only thing that's on the line. Louis' reputation is on the line. If he wins, I'll make a video where I do 100 kickflips in his shoe and then tell everyone to buy it. And of course, delete the video where I expose the piss poor quality of what they actually are. He better not lose because he's one of the more pivotal bets I have in place. We have to break even with this bracket at least. Cody versus Ryan is going to be a bit easier. Cody's career has only amounted to being at Battle at the Berrics. Ryan probably has better places to be, like jumping down a 20 stair on a Red Bull trip. Cody is going to be skating that same old skate park in Cariumas, keeping the blade sharp for his annual Battle at the Berrics invite. That's the only way Cody can sustain his career. He's going to be hungry for that dub. So there you have it, guys. Keep the faith, trust the plan. We got a long road ahead of us. If you're feeling nervous, pop a Xanax, relax, keep betting. We can afford to take a few hits early. The system was designed for that. Thanks again to pubboybets.com for sponsoring this video. Pubboybets.com is the premium alt sports betting site. Sign up today to get access to the Battle at the Berrics betting card, as well as chainsaw juggling and others. Pubboybets.com. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.